I don't have to start this all over. I forgot to cut the mic on. Sorry about that. Okay, it's August the 25th, 2021. We're going to talk about relax. Here we go again. Mic is on. So, uh, I know a couple people out there probably already relaxing in their recliner up. You don't go to sleep. We all need time to relax. However, we don't need to relax all the time. So let's define the word. And as I said earlier, except now the mic's on. Relax is a verb to make less tense, rigid, or firm. To make lax, to relax the muscles, to diminish the force of, to slacken or abate as effort, attention, to make less strict or severe, like rules. Okay, that all makes sense, and probably most of us already knew that. So we all have our own unique ways to unwind. Excuse me, coffee time. So, whatever your way is, I'm sure you have hopefully picked a positive way. If not, we will address that later. Um, Playing golf, cards, video games. Most of the time, that's considered a negative, but if you control your time in the video game, it's actually not. Talking with friends, family, going for walks, taking in a movie, or going to a ball game. Unfortunately, the song Loverboy, made back in the 80s, I believe that's right, Working for the Weekend, gave people a skewed view of what it means to relax. We don't want to think that we're working all day, all 5 days a week, so 2 days a week we can relax. That's stupid. I don't even know the way to put it. That's stupid. I don't even like the term hump day because to me, to get over the hump means you have accomplished getting over something that you didn't want to do. You know what? If you don't want to be at your job, don't be. Get another job. Anyway, you need to enjoy where you're at. I and I do like that song, Work for the Weekend. So it's not that I don't like the song. I think about years ago. Uh, One of my jobs was digging foundations for houses by hand. They don't do that now, but anyway, back then they did. So we would run into rocks and roots and hard ground, and man, it was work. I'm not kidding you. Fortunately, I was 18 years old. Didn't even faze me, or I didn't think so. Uh, I worked with a 60-year-old guy. He was a black guy, and he and I would talk about all kinds of stuff. And I said, Henry, how long you been doing this? He said, I guess now on to 40 years. And I went, good gracious, 40 years? He couldn't have weighed 110 pounds soaking wet. I said, Henry, why have you done this for so long? He said, I like it. Well, boy, that taught me a lesson. I was doing it to earn money, but he liked digging ditches. And I said, well, why do you like digging ditches? He said, oh, man, it's a blast. He said, sometime I run into the Rock family. In the Rock family, those guys are tough, man, but I know how to get them out of there. And sometimes I run into the Root family. You know what? Man, they're a tangled mess, but I know how to get them out of there. He said, I have found so many different families underground, and I've learned how to deal with each one of them. I love this work. And I thought, wow, even digging ditches, you can enjoy it and love it. Changed my mindset. So when I went after Henry every day, I looked for the Rock family and I looked for the Root family because Henry said it was fun because you learned how to get them out of the ground. And it was. I had only worked that job for a couple, 3 months before I went into the Navy, I had a delayed deferment. And I learned a lot from Henry. I learned you don't have to be a big, powerful muscle guy to dig ditches. And he'd been digging ditches 40 years. And like I said, he didn't weigh 110 pounds soaking wet. But he was wiry. Wiry means tough, like a coiled spring. So I liked working with Henry. Pretty cool guy. Let me move on here. Let me give you a definition of relaxation. It means abatement or relief from bodily or mental work, effort, application, and activity or recreation that provides such relief, diversion, or entertainment. So, we all do need relaxation. Your body needs time so it can recuperate from work. And you do realize hobbies are work, right? I see that. I see those eyeballs go up. Yeah, it is work. Because you have to exert energy to do whatever you're doing. And by the very definition, exerting energy is work. Okay, let me move on. So, work and relaxation both are needed. They're both very necessary in life. And it's called balance. Society could never have advanced if we had nobody doing work to build buildings and improve things. Society could never have survived if we hadn't had relaxation. Your body has got to recuperate. You can't go 24/7. Just saying, can't do it. Workaholics are as out of harmony as those that want to enjoy diversions all the time. Both of them are out of balance. They're extremes. You have to balance your work with your relaxation. You don't work to relax, and you don't relax to work. You have to balance the two. So consider this. Some people like to work. I do. It's always been fun. I always made whatever job I was doing, I made the job fun. In a lot of businesses, I considered myself as the owner. I didn't, but I did consider myself as the owner, and I took care of that business as if I were the owner. And I didn't get a whole lot of pat on the backs or raises or anything else, but I knew I had done my best, and I always got good referrals whenever I went somewhere else. So let's go down to this last little bit here. Know your limits. You know when things are out of whack. Yes, you do. You know when things are out of whack. So I always used what I call transition time. And I started this early on before we had children, and then it worked fantastic after we had children. But I would tell my wife, I said, I need about 30 minutes when I come home and a glass of tea or a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate, something, so I can transition into home. Well, going to work in the morning, of course, I'm just getting started for the day. I would arrive at work 15 to 20 minutes before I'm supposed to get there. And I'd use that 15 minutes or so to get a cup of coffee and transition my mind to work. Made my days go so smooth. Man, smooth. And by using that 30 minutes, especially after we had children, in the evening, back then you could actually watch the news. I don't know what you would watch now, or if you want to watch, sit out on the back porch or something. But that 30 minutes I needed after all the stress of what I had gone through that day, work, whatever, challenges that came up at the hospital or whatever. She would give me that 30 minutes, keep the kids out of my hair, so I could transition to my home mindset. It's amazing how smooth and peaceful and quiet our home was. You didn't have to be screaming, yelling at the kids. They knew that Dad needs transition time, and they gave it to me. Hopefully you can pick up on some of these and you can do transition time. Set limits on all your activities. Think about where you need transition time. Monitor yourself on how well you're succeeding at that. You got to monitor yourself and work on one area at a time. Don't try to get all better just right away. Pick one area, whatever it is. Work on that area with your spouse if you're married. Get it consistent, then move to a second area. Well, that's about it. We're going to be traveling for the next few days, so you probably won't be hearing too much out of me on the newsletter. I may try to do a couple of videos on the road, and so I'll be watching for those. Trying to think of anything else. You guys make it a terrific week. Enjoy your day, enjoy your family, enjoy your job, and see you next time.